Aloha everyone, welcome to the Hisessions podcast. We have an amazing show for you today. First off, we'd like to thank our good friends and sponsors, Kevin Yokomura at Kupukupu Landscaping and Fort Ruger Market for always providing us with the awesome grinds. And now it's time to grab a cold one, kick back, and talk story with these three special guests we have in our studio today. Jake Shimabukuro, Lopaka Colon, and our very own John Yamasato of the legendary Hoku Hanohano award-winning, multi-talented musical group Pure Heart. Enjoy.
And we're back.
Oh, is this out of the? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, you can look at that. It's not a formal. It's not a formal thing. Yep. So Kyle is excited.
Yeah. I'm excited. We've been waiting years to get all of you guys on this podcast, and thank you for coming.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the stars aligned today. Devon was sick. There was an open chair.
I feel better, Devon.
Jake was coming, and I told John, "Hey, why don't we get Lopaka to sit in his chair?" And then he was like, "I'll give him a call." Right. And there he is.
There he is. He made it.
Thank you for coming.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you for having us on.
I think we wanted to start up this new year with some
an acknowledgement. Yeah. So we had a little bit of a rough start. We had a few people pass away the last year. So we had Danny Clay-Kini, Milan Bertosa, China Uemura. Yeah. Yeah. And there's some others, right? Lopaka was saying.
Yeah.
So many of these people we were close to in some way or another. And I was thinking the other day, you know, the nice thing about Facebook, Facebook, there's a lot of bad that people talk about, but there's some nice things too, because, I've known Danny for a long time. We see him at the ukulele festival and stuff like that, but also he's good friends with my friend Beaker. So I'd see him on a social, in a social setting too. And he's always been just like the nicest person. And just to see all the love, people, everybody has a picture with Danny Clay-Kini. Even people that I'd never thought would even know Danny Clay-Kini had pictures with him, kind of thing. So to see all of that really makes you feel good, right? And even with like Milan, I know he's very close with you, Jake. But just to see that's one of the nice things about those platforms, because you get to see the reach. But we have where's my cup? Right there.
Oh yeah.
All right, so little whiskey here. Yeah.
So just I'm a man of few words. I don't do toast too much, but just to those who have left us, may their memories live on with those who are still here. Right. So toast.
Hey, cheers. Oh.
Hey,
all right. Hey, I'll come around.
Ooh, this is good.
It is good. All right. So now that we've done that, I know, Kyle, you have 18 million questions for us.
Where can we start, man? I mean,
it's like the old team.
This is back to the olden days,
This is awesome, man.
I mean, we've known each other, 30-something years already?
Not 30. 95, 96? How long is it? Oh, yeah, it's almost 30 years now. It's 20-something.
Yeah, right. And you guys don't age, and I just got older and lost my hair and got fat, but you guys are the same. But it's good to have you guys all back together again. And I guess what we also wanted to talk about is there's going to be a reunion at the Blue Note coming up, right?
Well, would we call it a reunion? It is a Jake and Friends concert.
To some people.
I mean, every time we play together, we've been calling it a reunion.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
So, it was one of these things. Jake had scheduled a few shows at the Blue Note, and I guess talked to his management. It's like, hey, what if John Lopaka came and played? And so we set it up. So we'll be there on the 18th and 19th. There are 4 shows.
Of this month.
But, 18th and 19th of January. So by the time you hear this, it'll be next week. The 19th, 6:30 show is sold out. So there's 3 shows. Out? Yeah. So there's only 3 shows left that you can get tickets for. But then we're also going to continue on to Kauai and Maui.
Yes.
So we'll be kind of island hopping next week, which is really nice because it's been a long time that I've been stuck on Oahu. So
yeah, for sure. I think the last time I got to see you guys was at Aloha Stadium in the parking lot, and you guys did a concert there.
Right.
Wow.
That's the last time I've seen all 3 of you guys play.
Wow.
But now that, we're crawling out of COVID, I know you've, Jake, been on, on trips lately and touring the world.
Yeah,
Right?
we started. Yeah, we started going out and doing shows again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is things now that you get to go out there and travel?
Oh yeah, no, it feels really good. Yeah, it feels great to kind of reconnect with people again, and we've been having, and for the first time this year, we kind of had, we're back to our meet and greets again after the show.
Oh, you're doing the meet and greets again?
Yeah, we just started doing those again. So
okay.
yeah,
Actually,
so for a long time it was kind of weird because we weren't doing them.
Yeah.
And so it was like you would play, and after your last song, you would go backstage, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it just felt, I don't know, it just didn't feel complete or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
I got a question. This is kind of a practical thing, but now that people I know you still sell CDs, but what is something that you give to people at the concerts that they can either purchase or you sign? Is it still CDs?
Yeah.
Because as CDs phase out, that's the thing. Like, what do you give to people? What is their takeaway from these
Well,
concerts?
we do a lot of vinyl, and then of course T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Things like
Ah.
that. We do socks.
Really?
Yeah. Socks.
So everybody else wears shoes besides people in Hawaii. So
Yeah. Justin does hats. He's got cool trucker hats.
Oh,
Okay.
that makes
Trucker
sense.
hats. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Got to come up with Pure Heart bucket hats.
bucket hats?
Pure Heart bucket hats.
What is a bucket hat?
There's
Like
fishing hat.
like Gilligan. Like
Yeah.
you see.
Oh.
Are you guys gonna have some type of merch at Blue Note? You guys talked about that.
Yeah, right. That's
Come
a good
on.
question. That's a good question.
I
If
was
we're talking about
bugging
this.
you guys to do it. I would have designed something for you guys.
We
if
could
you had time.
capitalize on merch.
Not at Blue Note
Okay.
because we don't have anything now, so there's no possible way we'll have something by next.
It's Tuesday. Can
Yeah.
you whip up
We
something?
can do it.
Yeah, we have like a week.
You can do it.
But maybe in the future, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, we have that cool design that Kyle made. So if you see the the Pure Heart CD here, Kyle designed that design.
That'd be a great idea since our album is old already, and if anybody wants something new, get new merch.
Yeah.
Speaking of new, what is going on with you guys' new album that you guys been doing for the past 2.5 years?
Right.
Well, are we close to completion?
It's like beginning of
limbo.
COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I know COVID is an excuse, but come on, we're out of it now. You guys gonna need to finish.
Well, that's when we started it. We started it during COVID.
Because of you saying this, I think we might get on the ball and
Get on the ball, you guys. People want to hear your new stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John's been writing a lot. Yeah.
I've been putting some stuff down, but okay. So we had this discussion with other artists on this podcast. So I want to get your guys' opinion. It's funny because we don't really sit down and talk too much. So it was really nice. We had lunch together, and it's the first time in a long time we just kind of sat and talked story.
That's nice.
But so the kids nowadays say you don't release albums anymore. You just do a single and a single and a single. I mean, we could do that. We have enough to kind of get going, but is that how we do it, or because I had this vision of an album, because not all of our songs are singles. Like some of these songs, in my mind, kind of lead to other songs. Like
Right.
they're kind of move things in a certain way, because. Because we do such a wide genre of music, we have some country songs on there, we have some kind of pop stuff, and then there's always Latin feels with the. So to me, an album makes more sense for us than to release singles, because if you come out with some kind of Latin jazz single, it's very different than our country song versus a blues. Everything is kind of. So when you tie it all together, it's this nice theme of music. It covers.
No,
that's
totally.
That's how I looked at our music, versus, if you're Ho'onua or something, you have the next single of Ho'onua music because they have a genre that they, and everyone's expecting that,
I get it. You guys are known to just have different types of sounds and different types of genre mixed into your guys' albums.
Yeah, so Molokai Sweet Home, everybody likes that song, but if we released it as a single, I don't know on its own if it would have made sense although it ties into the whole album because it has the bird calls on it and ties into some of the other songs,
Yeah, one of the things I love about it now is, getting to perform, do these reunion shows. I love when we do that song and people will come up to Lopaka and be like, I had no idea that he was making those sounds. I just thought it was like you recorded a sample, somewhere
right.
of birds.
Yeah.
But I think back then, maybe people were they heard the music but never seen him actually do
Right.
the bird calls.
Well, what came first in your life? Was it bird calls or percussion?
Ooh, percussion first. Yeah.
And then how did the bird calls come in and all that other?
Just listening to my father, who has captured some of these animal and bird calls through hunting when he was growing up, and when he was with his own group, Martin Denny Group.
Yeah.
My father, Augie Cologne. Yeah. He would just actually Martin Denny, the pianist, he would tell him to like try to see if he could. Well, my dad by accident. Okay. Here's a story. In Waikiki back in the day, bird calls started when my dad, when Martin Denny played a certain lick on his on piano, and at Hilton Hawaiian Village there would be bullfrogs, and they would like or do some.
Yeah.
So my dad would be just playing with them and do some weird like bird call stuff, but then they would answer back, and in the middle of the tune where they're playing. Martin Denny was like, "Hey man, why don't you do this here and there?" And it became a thing for him to like do a little stuff based upon Martin Denny telling him to do it to like interact with the frogs and stuff. And then,
I mean, you're talking about real frogs in the background.
yeah, real
outside.
frogs outside.
Interesting.
And so then that became a thing. And then they went in the studio, and he actually wrote it out, charted where he wants my dad to do a certain bird call or animal call, and then it became a thing. But now that's the deal we're talking back in.
I didn't know Martin charted it into the music.
Yeah, he did. Isn't it crazy?
That's nuts.
Okay, come on.
So-
sample.
Yeah.
A bit.
How did you learn from your dad though? Did you just listen and try to pick it up,
Right,
or
so I
did he
listened-
teach you?
So I listened to it growing up on Molokai, and then when I was when I had my own band, actually when I was with these guys, just like doing stuff, and I was like, oh, I can do something like this that my dad used to do, and I just did a bird call. Like, I mean, I think one of the first ones was something like that. It was like real simple. It was like, and then I did like something like I told them like, oh, you ever heard of a dove that's in heat? And they're like, what is that?
How does it go?
So imagine a dove that's courting another dove,
Okay.
and the tail's like going up and down.
Yeah.
And she's like circling the female. The doves go. He goes. So whenever you hear,
Wow.
Oh,
that's a male dove
Yep.
courting the female dove. Whenever you hear
damn!
that,
I need a cigarette now.
It sounds just like that. every time he does that though, there's a
That's amazing.
That's cool, man.
there's
Now, go ahead.
in Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah,
Jim Carrey does the tractor beam,
yeah.
and he makes almost that. He's like, I can't even do it, but he makes that sound like it's like a whistle with the thing. It always
Right.
reminds me of that.
Okay,
It's
so
one of
you
my
know-
favorite movies.
You know when you guys first jammed,
yeah.
did you tell them, yeah, you guys are doing bird call? Did you just do it? And
No, I didn't. No, they wanted me to do it.
Kyle, you
Okay.
I
gotta
didn't
understand.
wanna do it. I didn't want to
We
do
used
it.
to play for like 6 hours at a time at my parents' house.
And it's not because we were like forced to.
just practicing and playing.
It's just because
having
we
fun.
just love to just jam out. It was like, oh my god, like whole time I'm like, oh my god.
But like, there's so many like, because in that span of time when you're playing that long, you're gonna think of like, hey, what if I did this or what if I did that? Or
Yeah.
what if I,
Right.
like.
Right.
So
Exactly.
there was a lot of stuff that came up through that.
Do you guys remember the first song you guys ever played together?
Yeah.
As a
Hene
band.
Kwaka.
Was that it?
Hene Kwaka.
okay.
Because I remember you brought out that, what do you call that? With the
The
stick.
Guido?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then we both looked at each other like, what?
So yeah, so you know, a Kyle Creator. I'm not sure if a Kyle Creator, but is a Kyle Creator Boys song. But Kyle Creator Boys was a big influence on our group.
Yeah.
And then especially like how you're saying that during the practice sessions where we're trying to figure out how we can do something that. Not one up, but something that is relative to Kyle Creator, but just like some of the sounds that they were coming up with, and they were like looking at me at some of the percussion stuff to come up with certain things, and then I knew that Jake could follow anything I could rhythmically like come up with, and then or just like accompany it, and then he has a sense to like change that around. Oh wait, what about if we did like this?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, what was that? Like, oh crap. And then John's like, oh yeah, man. And then and John is very intuitive also.
Yeah.
I would-
musically. So
I'd be the one like running around like doing the sound and recording our things so we can listen back later, and you know
Yeah.
everybody had their role. But hey, I could never keep up with these guys musically.
Well, it's so funny because you guys developed such a unique sound. Even if you guys were influenced by these musicians that came before you, like Kyle Cradle Boys, your guys' sound was so unique. You know?
even Hoppa,
thank you.
was a big
Yeah.
influence. Hoppa was a big influence too.
Oh, Hoppa, yeah.
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 I still have an iPod, so I listen to that in the car. But for some reason, it won't play music anymore.
Oh.
So I have one CD
Is
in
that
my
the
car.
one with the
Yeah, yeah, it
the
won't do-
dial?
Yep.
Lee Rachel
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. So, but I have a Hoppa Live CD in my car.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that. Like, still so good, man.
Oh, yeah,
Those
sounded
guys.
amazing.
But it's the Nathan version, the one that I got right now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
all versions were pretty good, man. They all had their own like style to them.
I remember when we did our first like wedding or baby party, and people were like blown away because turn around and he'll be singing, John be singing Kili Rachel, you know,
Yeah.
like whoa. And
Everybody always says-
kind of tripping out because you know
'Cause he's
you didn't
John
figure
and
out
he looks like John.
right? But the voice is like what?
Yeah. When I heard you on the radio for first, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah,
I thought you were like some big Hawaiian dude.
yeah. That's what everybody
With that voice, you know? Like I was like, oh, some Hawaiian guy. Nice voice, man. And then when I saw it, I was like, huh?
I remember when we first did our first gig, people thought that we were like setting up for the band that was supposed to be, but no, we are the band.
I thought you were the roadies.
Yeah, we were the
Oh, hey.
Hey, Dave,
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
podcast.
Whose van is blocking?
Oh, that's Lopaka.
Okay, we'll take a little quick break right now while Lopaka moves his van, and we'll be right back.
We can talk. Lopaka, yeah, just go maybe
Okay,
move
sure.
and then
Okay.
we'll
Should
just
I
keep.
move my car up so he can?
Oh yeah, you can park behind Jake on Paoa.
Yeah.
Pahoa. Sorry, not Paoa.
Okay, I'll go move my car. in
Okay.
so he-
Yeah, we'll
so
take a
he has
break.
more room.
We'll just take
okay.
a break.
All right,
We'll be right back.
We'll take a short break.
Alrighty.
Okay, we were talking about the early days of Pure Heart when you used to
Hanabata days.
just
Hanabata.
young and loved to play
Whoa, whoa,
music
whoa.
for hours and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Kyle's super loud now.
So
Yeah.
we can continue with that.
Yeah, and I heard, and his John's dad and mom was stoked about that, and they would make us lunch,
Really?
and yeah,
I think they just liked having people
Right, right.
around the house.
and she actually became a
Remember
small.
that chili dip?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best.
She still makes it.
She was happy he
from
made
time to
friends, yeah.
Well,
He had a lot of friends.
Oh, you know,
John's house was like always full of
you know,
friends.
their philosophy was if the kids are coming to the house, then at least we know who John's hanging out with.
and it came to the point where we actually had like, we were so liked that we actually had the KCCN FM100 crew come and practice with us.
Yeah.
Oh, the F100 band.
The FM 100 band. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah,
I still,
back in
you
the
know what?
day.
I have the audio, you know, from that World Cafe when we played World Cafe with them,
Like Billy V,
with
like
Billy
reminded
and
me
all
about
that. I have the audio from that.
Wow, we gotta dig that
But
up.
that was, I lost my voice for some reason that night, so it sounds pretty horrible.
Who was in that
So-
band? You had
Billy V was on drums.
Leafy.
Yeah, and then had Lena Girl and Mike Lowe.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Davey D did anything.
Well, he used to
singing
come.
or something.
He used to come out.
Yeah,
he
but
a
I
side
think he was
rapper?
there, but he did some. What did he play? Did he play the
guitar,
bass?
Bass. Oh yeah, I think he played bass.
Did he play the bass?
And
Yeah.
wait, let's
Because Michael played slack key guitar.
That's right.
Yeah.
let's get this straight here. Devon wasn't in the KCCN band. at the
No, he
time?
was gone by then.
He was gone by then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you would think there would be, he would make his own slot.
He'll
He'll slide right in there, you know.
lead vocals.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is after he left. then.
Wow.
Yeah, this is after he was gone.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Really?
But yeah, they would come and practice with us.
Yeah.
or it came in.
That was so much
Well,
fun.
actually, we were rehearsing for their event.
Right. There was an event
They did
happening.
the
birthday
yeah, they did
bash.
the birthday
Birthday
bash. That's right.
bash,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's sad is well, I'm sure you guys. Oh well, you play with Jack Johnson, but you know, for the longest time, like I had never played at the Shell during the nighttime, because they always used to put us on during the day. You know, when it was still sunlight.
right.
And then so finally, like one year they did like a all-star band, and they wanted Milani and I to sing Tracks of My Tears, so I got to play at night.
nice, yeah.
So I got to play in front of the big lights and the big crowd and stuff.
Different
but we-
vibe, right?
different vibe, man.
Everybody's all drunk and stoned
Yeah.
and dancing.
It was
already
pretty
by then,
cool.
you know?
So I like took a picture and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty neat. But yeah, you've played with Jack, and you've played, I'm sure, on the big stage at night, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that-
there's a
that-
different feeling, definitely, especially because the sun's not beaming on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like-
And I read about that time is when the girls start using the men's bathroom and the guys are shishing on a bush. Right around that night when it turns night at the like Waikiki show, the bathroom is turning into the girls' bathroom. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, so all
on.
of those kind of things, like I remember, at first was like, oh, if we can just get a gig, and then we got gigs, and then it was like, okay, if we could just play Hawaii Theater, then we played Hawaii Theater, and then it was like, if we could just play at the Shell, then it was
We
like,
were trying to play at Stacks, remember?
yeah,
We were
Stacks.
trying to get into
Stacks was the
play at
club, man.
Stacks,
Yeah,
and
there
that
was places, a lot of places.
Liquid
where
Surf Den.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Dennis, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's where Jake busted out Europa, Liquid Surf Den.
Oh, and Liquids, yeah.
I was like, what
So that's
is
the
this?
first time you played Europa.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was working on it there.
The college, we were like, it was our first taste and to see how college would react to, our music.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like blown away that people were like totally were in it, like it was a crazy night.
There are a lot of bands that play.
Because because
back in the day.
you got Fiji going through there at that time period.
Yeah.
Fiji was playing there.
He
You
came
had
up and played with us
big
once.
boys. We were rolling through there.
I remember Carl playing there too at one.
Yeah.
There's no hangout like that anymore, right? Where all the local musicians
And like
just
Hot
kind of hang out.
Lava. Remember Hot Lava
my
days?
Yeah, Hot Lava
Oh.
Days.
Yeah, where would you go now?
I guess maybe
Nico's?
Outrigger.
Lico's in Hawaii.
Yeah, well, no, Nico's.
Oh, Nico's.
Well,
But
there's
yeah,
a
but
place
people-
called Slacky Lounge. You ever heard of that? A place called Slacky.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
at
right.
Old Hawaiian Brian's.
That's, Hawaiian Brides.
Oh,
So I'm not
okay,
sure if
okay.
that's the spot, but the theme of it, Slacky Lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sounds
And
cool.
it's a nice
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tavana
dude.
plays there, right?
Tavana, yeah.
Oh, that's
Doesn't
right.
he play there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he kind of hosts
And then
like
Steve
a
English, I think.
jam night.
Some
Oh
stuff.
wow.
Stephen English, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's I haven't been there when they had their
But
events out
yeah.
there, but
was your guys' first massive concert the rooftop at Ala Moana for like 4th of July?
oh
or
yeah,
Remember
4th
that,
of
huh?
July.
That was
That was a big one, yeah.
That was
the
That
whole
was
parking lot.
That's right.
The entire
it's
parking
weird
lot
though
was
because
shut down.
once you get the crowd that big, well, at least for me, I don't know how you guys are, but for me, like once you hit a certain place, it's just a mob. Like you don't notice
Right.
the people.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like some of the other concerts were more intimidating to me. Like when we do theaters,
Yeah.
because it's quiet.
Very intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like people are watching versus when you're at these big things. Oh, I remember one time we played the Waikiki Ho'olalea, and then there's a fight, and I'm like,
A mosh
how's
pit at
there
the
a
Pure Art
fight at the
concert.
Pure Art concert? And I'm like, I get it, like like if people are like skanking out or something. But it's like, what's going on? Like like, people are funny, man.
You playing Green Rose Hula and a mosh pit starts.
Yeah. That was just like one of those, because this is a massive people, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really notice like who's out there or what. You just
Yeah.
kinda,
We actually opened up for a pop artist, a female pop artist.
that's right.
At the Kaneohe Marine Base, right? Was it
Oh,
Joan Jett?
Her too, right? I forgot about that one.
Yeah, Joan Jett.
Her and a girl named Fiona Apple.
Oh, you opened the Fiona Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah, that-
NBC?
No, that was at some hotel.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was a Sheraton Hilton. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Big
That was one of the first times we were like,
That's
Super
I've
stoked.
been a bad girl.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
What song was that? I forget.
I don't know how Pure Heart relates with.
She released a new album
Oh, she
like during the
did?
pandemic. It's amazing.
I heard it's
yeah.
really good. Yeah.
It's amazing.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Very pleasant when we met her.
Oh, really?
Right,
Yes.
Super cool.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Jake has a million other celebrity stories.
Unlike Joan
but-
Jett.
No.
Yeah, Joan Jett, not pleasant.
Right.
Fiona Apple,
Wait, you got to meet her?
No,
we didn't get to meet her. Yeah,
we saw her
didn't
walking
get to
around
meet her.
backstage, and we were so
Yeah.
intimidated we didn't even talk to
forgot
her.
about
Yeah,
Joan Jett.
I'm sure she is nice, but we were just too scared to
That's
go
true.
up to her and say hi.
Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't speak to because we didn't even make the effort.
Yeah.
I mean, we wanted to, but yeah.
Yeah, she didn't look approachable.
Well, she looks intimidating. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's very nice.
Yeah.
We were, yeah.
So,
We were
do you
just too
remember if we were
scared.
ever around? If I'm not sure if we did or not, but you guys, do you know if we ever did a gig where Brother Iz was on the same gig with us?
I only got to
Do you
see him
remember?
once live, and that was with
If
you.
we ever
Yeah,
did a gig
yeah.
where Brother Iz was on the same gig with us or not?
I don't
Wow.
think so because
So
he passed.
we don't go that back then, as far as a band.
No, because he passed in '94, right?
Oh, he did.
Okay.
I think '94.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
John, yeah, we went to the concert. Was it at the Blaisdell?
I remember
'Cause
seeing
he
him
was-
at Diamond Head Theater, and then there was one at Kamehameha Schools.
Oh, maybe it was coming.
And that's the one I think maybe you came with
yeah,
me. Yeah.
Because you drove, because I didn't know how to get there.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
I had just got my license, so, and nobody liked my driving.
Oh, speaking of, yeah, I remember when we did our
What
first
year did
Ilani
he-
fair.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he passed in '97,
Ilani?
but
No, I remember our first fair. Like,
But I remember
it was-
when we went
Ilani,
to watch
yeah,
him
people were- yeah.
perform that
In a
night,
carnival.
because he was
Yeah, we
already
were, like, blown away.
with the,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
oxygen.
Yeah, the oxygen
he
at
was
that time
already
already.
singing with the oxygen tank that
Yeah.
that night. But that was the one and only time I got to see him perform.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yeah, man,
that was incredible.
I feel really lucky because I got to see him. Did you ever get to see him live?
I seen him live once. I think it was at might have been Liquid Surf Dan or Moose's back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good
Yeah.
place to see him live because
Yeah.
it's pretty. I saw him at the Shell Amphitheater. A couple other times, yeah. So I would go around and check him out. He was always super entertaining. That guy.
So let's go to the Hokus when well there's that Israel performance
oh,
that goes down in history as
Oh, yeah.
one of the greatest memories. But one of the most memorable ones is also you guys winning your first Hoku.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And let's go back to that because you guys were kids,
Yeah.
you know, at that time, and you guys were up among album of the year. Among all that, and I remember Jake getting emotional and all this kind of stuff.
just a little.
Were you guys really like in shock when you guys?
Yeah.
I was just shocked and I was just
Oh,
laughing. Like I can't believe that we actually won. Like what? Like what's going on here? That was going on in my head.
Yeah.
The whole time. Like what?
Well,
This is
how old was the album? Only a year old
it
at
was-
that time.
It just came out. Yeah,
Yeah, it just came out.
it was that was 97, right? 1990.
We finished the album in '97. We released it in like February of '98, and then it was the next year Hokus that we won. So it had been out for a bit,
Really?
and then later that year in '99 we released the second album, and then by the end of 2000 we were done.
everyone around us.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, we did the Christmas
knew that
one.
there was
too,
We
something
did a Christmas
going
one,
on
yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
The first night there was some type of air in the air. But we as a band we couldn't figure out. I mean, I think something was going to happen tonight. But there was that feeling, and that night I remember, and just to know that because. Like when we walked into the showroom, I remember the first thing is the home advertiser,
Oh, the photographer?
like coming up to us, right, and taking like a lot of pictures. Like, why
you're
is he
like,
like
something's
why is
gonna
he-
happen here. What's
Like, why
going
is he
on?
like following us around a lot? Like, what's going on here?
No, I
So,
learned
like-
I learned that night.
Like,
so
yeah,
sequential after Hokus that if you find out who the advertiser photographer is, because
Yeah.
he knows because he's got to stand near the people who won. So like when Kiahi Mai won,
I didn't know that.
I knew they were going to win because he's right there.
Oh,
So I was like,
you
oh,
just
okay.
let out a trade secret to everybody.
Yeah.
I thought they just seat you guys closest to the stage.
right.
No. That's how they.
Oh,
That's how
follow
they
that star advertiser or photographer.
but it's harder now because before I only had one guy,
Oh yeah,
but now they have many people that can do photography. So it's not like it was this Japanese guy with a goatee and a mustache, but he's not around anymore. So I don't know who the photographer is, and now everybody takes photos. There's
That's
like
true.
photographers everywhere. So
that's true.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was it, Jake, for you winning that? Was that like the pinnacle of your career at that time? And
Oh yeah.
did you ever expect to further it even to where you are now? Or?
No, I mean that. They asked us to perform. I couldn't believe that. Remember, we were
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
nervous, and
Right.
so that
Yeah,
was
that was
actually the
good. That's
first
the
time my mom saw us perform.
Yeah, we were super nervous.
Yeah, that was the first time. So it was very emotional. Yeah.
And
I
plus,
just remember that the first one, the most promising. I thought we had a chance on that. That one I felt like we had a chance.
The new artist.
New artist,
Yeah.
right? So then we won that one. That was the first. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, we're good. We got to say all our thank yous. I had the list, I read the thank you. And then after that, when we won this, I don't know what the second one was. I was like, oh,
Now what?
Now I don't know what I'm gonna say. Like for the rest of it, because I just read the whole list. Because you don't think you're gonna win another one, right? So we went through the whole thank yous already. And so like,
We have one here that you found in the closet that still has the plastic on the plaque that can't come off anymore. You have another one somewhere else then.
yeah.
Where is it?
Probably where I found this one, in the closet at my parents' house or something.
I think this one is the album of the year.
Right. Yeah. That's why I brought it here, because I felt that one was.
See, I have mine, but I never received the
plaques?
Yeah, me too.
because I think they sent it to Tracy and then and Tracy never gave it to. No, I think they did send it, but they sent it to Tracy, and I think Tracy never gave it to us.
You have a blank Hoku in your house?
I got a couple of those actually. Yeah.
So
How sad.
all four from that year are all blank. You too, right? Yeah.
You can put whatever you want on top of that plaque.
Yeah, because they sent it to Tracy, and Tracy never gave it to us.
That doesn't sound like Tracy.
So Tracy, if you still have those plaques, we'd love them.
Yeah, blank Hokus are kind of sad to have in your house.
And so what I did, I kind of split it amongst my family members. I only got two
that's
at home.
nice.
Well, that's
and
nice.
Yeah, my brother has one, my mom has one, sister has one.
Oh, they must be super stoked to be proud of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's just in a closet somewhere. But I mean, that's just our families, though. Like their families are very, celebratory.
Yeah.
Right.
After the Hokus, I went home and we went to bed. they all went to party and stuff. That's just how it is, So I don't. Nothing wrong with it. Hey, I want to say this because I got you guys here, and I have this friend/client who has never seen us. He only met us. He actually started listening to the podcast, and then went back and listened to our music and stuff. But then he saw us at the Sea Life Park, and he had really nice things to say about our live performance. And one of the things he was saying was that he just enjoys how just loose it is. It's not, you can tell it's not scripted, which is completely not. And so, yeah, well, let's talk about that a little bit, because our gigs are not, there's no, so if you come to see a show, which we're going to do 6 shows next week, every single one of those 6 shows will be different in some shape or form.
Well, every single time I know you guys are about to perform, I ask John, have you guys been rehearsing? And he goes, no. And I go, are you guys ever? He goes, maybe once before we go on stage. But every single performance has been spot on. It's like nothing's ever changed. You guys just can get back together and sound the same.
Well, okay.
Even when it's
nice of you to
but
say
even when it's impromptu
Right.
performances, it's still fun to watch.
Right.
In fact, I like those the best.
Right.
It's one of these things to me, that's the fun part, is the unknown, because I mean, we've been playing the same songs for 25 years.
Which is why we really need to talk about this new album. I'm super excited.
It's not
You
about
have it in
albums,
the,
man.
you have something in the can.
PR 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come out.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I want strong songs, and we have decent songs. And
Jake, you release singles right now when you do an album, or is it
no,
all
we,
one time?
We still do full albums. Yeah,
Full album.
we still do full.
You're not helping the situation.
Oh, sorry.
But there are artists that release singles and then the full album
Yeah,
comes in.
Right.
Yeah, I've been seeing more of that recently for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that we're going to be definitely
Talking about, right?
doing our due diligence on and working on it way more. Yeah,
Okay.
as far as bringing it out.
Good to hear.
I was doing something at my son's school, and the project was, they were learning a song, and then we brought in mics and we are going to record them, right?
Okay.
So record them singing the song and playing. And afterwards, I told them, so now that we got everything recorded, we're going to get it mixed and mastered. And then, so I was explaining the process, and I said, and then we're going to put it onto a CD. And they're all like, what's a CD?
You had that experience too, right?
Yeah.
That was only a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I had the same experience. I've told this story on the podcast before, but I used to play what's above Duke's? What's that place called? Hula Grill. Yeah. I was at Hula Grill doing, solo stuff. And I used to just have a pile of CDs because I have so many leftover CDs, right? And if people tip, I just go, hey, take a CD, take a CD. You know? And this young girl comes up and she tips me, and I'm like, have a CD. And she looked at me like, what am I going to do with this? Like, she was like, I don't have a CD player. I'm like, oh.
Well, yeah, it's funny when I got to do some shows with Justin, right?
Yeah.
Justin Young, and it's funny because he'll say like, this is on my new record. I have a new album out, new CD out. If you don't have a CD player, I'm happy to sell you a CD player too. I'm also selling CD players.
But I mean, how do you share music now at a concert?
It's so funny, right? But it's so true.
Yeah, how do you share it now at a concert? You just flip out a USB disc or something at people, or
so at our shows, what we do is we actually record every live show, well, almost every live show, and then people can purchase the download card
from that same
for
show?
that particular show.
That fast?
Yeah. Well, we say 48 hours, but
wow.
yeah.
I remember hearing Pearl Jam being the first rock band to
Yeah.
do that back in the day. It was
They
like,
had-
so smart.
But they had CDs.
Yeah.
But they had tons of CDs. Like Pearl Jam played here, Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
played
Well, because remember they had those machines that could burn like 20 CDs
Oh,
at
yeah.
once. But now everything is just
So now
you
the
just
download
need the
card.
you just need the QR code and
So
you
did
can
you just
download
go
it.
online and download the
When you-
concert?
Don't hit the table.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, forgot to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Because it picks up in the thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That was my fault.
So okay, we gotta come up with something because I feel like, well, I mean, it's too late for next week, but in the future, something to record or to.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll figure it out, Kyle.
Please do.
Yeah. And then I can't wait for Jake and I to collaborate on certain instrumental tunes for the album.
Oh yeah,
some
we should
ideas.
write.
Yeah.
Most
That's
of
some crazy.
Honestly, a lot of the stuff happened during the sound checks at all the gigs, because we'd get there early and then we'd just be sound checking. The sound's on and we just like, hey, what do you think of this? And play this.
That's how you guys rehearse.
And that's when we were rehearsing. Yeah.
So this Blue Note thing coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
The first time we're gonna see you guys play since the last concert is that concert. Then no rehearsals or anything. Just go on stage and jam.
That's correct.
Yeah, you're supposed to come up with a set list.
I'm supposed to come up with a set list. I know. I remind myself and then I get home and then I forget. But I'll come up with a set list.
Should we expose them to a couple new tunes or
I think
Yeah.
you guys should.
No, I think we'll do some new ones on each set. But because the sets are only like 45 minutes,
right? It's like a blur.
Yeah, it
for-
goes by
for
real
us.
fast, and I know people want to hear the songs that we're known for. I mean,
Right.
when I went to see Def Leppard, I wanted to hear "Pour Some Sugar on Me." Like I don't want to hear some
Right.
new like obscure song that they've never recorded yet. So I want to make sure we get through those.
The last Blue Note concert was hilarious because you tried to do like impromptu, just like a ping pong ball. Kind
Yeah,
of
that didn't work that well.
It was a good idea.
it was
I
great,
mean, in
yeah.
theory, but yeah, it just
People kept choosing. They like every single song was a fast song. Like the first 4 songs. I'm
Yeah.
like, we're gonna have a whole back end of just
slow
songs. So I was like, well, this is not gonna work then. We try to make it interesting. Try to
Yeah,
make
I
it
mean that's the
interesting.
fun part about it. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So Jake, how is it coming back and playing with these guys? You and Lopaka and I. Is it the same as
No, I
when
love
you
it.
go
You're gonna
on-
have to play with Kenny Loggins.
Yeah,
and
he
all
goes
that.
to Kenny Loggins and he's like, oh, now I gotta play a John at Lopaka. What the hell?
No, I love it, man. Like, I mean, for me, we all started out right around the same time, so we all influenced each other, and and I think a lot of the way that I play today, a lot of the foundation, my foundation of how I perform and play and write and stuff, all came from all just the collaboration between the three of us.
Yeah.
So it's nice when we get together again. It's like, I don't know, you just fall back into it. Like the first practice we had
You can tell that
after
we
like
matured.
13
Yeah.
years, right?
Yeah.
The first practice we
Right.
had, we were just like, all right, well, let's just see what happens. And we just started playing and it was like
Right.
everything just came back.
To hear maturity, yeah.
Like
It
riding
was
a bike.
crazy. Yeah, because
Riding
I was
a
thinking
bike.
like, I remember thinking like, wait, how was I playing the rhythm on this? Like, I don't remember what the
Yeah.
groove was. What was the tempo? Like,
Exactly.
but as soon as we just started, he counted it off and we started playing and it just went, and it was just like
It's amazing, right?
right back.
It's a great feeling because
It was crazy.
even though it's old, we come with a new set of
Yeah.
I guess ears
But-
and eyes and how we play.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but I think it's just it's just in us.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right.
I mean, and a lot of it too, right? That people don't realize too is when John and I first started playing with you, you were already a professional gigging musician.
Oh, that's what they know.
You had already recorded on records. You were like out there performing, right? So, but John and I, we were the two amateurs.
Right.
So,
Can you tell the story of how you guys met?
well, Lopaka and I used to work at House of Music together. That's how we met.
Yep, and they had a duo together, and they had a percussionist.
Well, actually,
Well, it actually started out as like a 7-piece
Oh,
band.
yeah,
I think.
okay,
so
It was all John's friends.
go
right?
way
Yeah,
back.
peace band.
Well, like, anybody that I hung out
with.
with was like, "Hey, you want to be in a band?" So and it's slowly like people, people who did not want to practice for 6 hours kind of fell off.
What do you had? Horns and everything then?
No. We had guitar players and percussionists, a bass player, and
And back then, John was playing ukulele.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jake and I both
Yeah,
played
we were
ukulele.
both playing ukulele.
But yeah, we brought him in, and
to show the percussion some grooves.
That's right. We actually brought Lopaka in to try to teach our percussionists a few things, and then he came in.
and then
No,
I saw.
a week later, they called me.
Yeah,
I
'cause
got
I
a personal
saw-
phone call. Like, hey, dude, you want to be part? I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
saw-
Are you sure? What about your other guy? I was like worried about the other guy.
Brandon.
Yeah.
It was Brandon,
yeah.
right? We were just talking
He's
about
like, no,
Brandon
don't worry
the other
about him. He's fine.
Was
Yeah.
he learning at that time?
Oh yeah. He didn't know what he was doing.
Man, how did you...
That was John's friend from
Yeah,
Kaiser,
yeah.
right?
And who just got married. Congratulations, Brandon, by the way.
Yeah, Brandon.
Right on.
I just can't imagine, like, I'm going to learn the percussion. And then next thing you know, Lopaka comes in. I guess I'm not going to learn the percussion.
But he was so cool about it. Like,
Yeah.
I was telling the story to Brandon because he just got married like on December 30th. So I was at the wedding and I was telling the story to the wife,
Yeah.
the new wife, because Jake and I were so worried about telling Brandon about we're gonna bring in Lopaka. Like we're so, but it was clear that he was not going in the music route. Lopaka was. We're all going in this direction, right?
Yeah.
So we explained it to him, and he was just like, "Okay," and that was it.
Oh, everything's cool.
Yeah,
The main thing is you got invited to his wedding and you guys are still
we're
friends.
still friends to this
Yeah.
day, and he's doing super well. And
the main thing.
Yeah, I love that guy. But so once I saw Lopaka, I'm like, Jake, why don't we have this guy in our band? Like this, Brandon is just he's just for hobby. He's only there because we're asking him.
Yeah.
Well, at the time, Lopaka was actively playing with the Robert Kikala band and
George
several
Marching
other
Band,
people. Yeah.
Oh.
No, but I mean, you just
And I just became a fixture in Robert Kikala. Robert Kikala, sad to say.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Right. He had an album called Kanak Attack.
Yep.
And he actually wanted my father to be on the album. He called my dad up and he's like, oh, I got my boy. He's at UH. Robert and a lot of people at that time period didn't know that my dad had a son.
Oh.
Yeah, and so they're like, what? So they called me up, and I was like 19 at the time.
Really?
Period. Yep. And I wasn't really into the radio scene because I was like heavily in the marching band at UH.
What were you
and
playing,
just,
quads in the marching band?
Snare.
Oh, okay.
And so just fully heavily into that, and I didn't even know about a band called Kyle Creator Boys. Until later on, I found out that one of the members of Kyle Creator Boys was my cousin.
Yeah.
But then, they were like playing some of those songs and seeing how would I jam into it. So I put my flavor, and then listen to some of their music, and they're like, "Oh shoot, yeah."
Well, but we didn't think you would be
Well, I didn't
open
think
to
he
joining
would, I
us.
didn't
Right,
think he
right,
would
right.
join us
Already
because
doing his
Jake
thing.
and I were like the two dorkiest people I could think of.
Well, I
And I'm like, this guy's actually pretty
Well,
cool.
what was your first impression of these guys?
Okay, so I didn't think that we were going to be gigging like how we were. I thought it was just going to be like, like here and there, and just to get like, okay, my whole intention or my personal was because he knew that I just wanted to do, because I was gigging with also Harold Kama Jr.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And so, that's right. So through Harold Kama, we did all these small little bar gigs, and they make you money like that. And so I was telling them, oh man, we should try to get gigs, but it was hard to
By
get
the way,
gigs.
Lopaka, watch the table.
Yeah. It's hard to get gigs.
We got the table monitor here. You can't do anything.
It was hard to get gigs at the time period, but because we looked like not like musicians, we looked like full on.
You gotta imagine now, like,
nerds.
you didn't look like a nerd. We look like nerds. So I was like, is this
But
guy even
then-
going to be willing to play with us? You know?
But then, the first gig we did, think if you can correct me if I'm wrong. It was at Java Cafe.
I remember. Yeah,
as
we
a
played
trio,
Java.
and this was in Kapahulu.
Yeah, I remember going there and watching music over there. Probably saw you guys there.
Yeah.
But what really took off was when Jake's friend at the time offered us a recording session.
Oh, Tracy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He was my ukulele teacher. That's why.
Right,
yeah.
right. Once that happened, then things totally like blew up for us as a group.
But yeah, we used to play like the coffee shops, and then we would do
birthday parties.
I remember one of the
weddings.
good gigs we had was we'd play at the stadium. So like there'd be a football game,
That's
and then we would
right.
play for the VIPs before they would go to the football. So they would come and have poo-poos and
Right.
lunch and stuff, and we would play
Oh,
there.
that was a
and
great
then-
gig.
yeah, and then-
those kind of gigs. Yeah.
yeah, we'd do that. That was a good gig.
Right. In fact, the way how John's parents angled the management was pretty cool as far as the kind of gigs that we were getting. But
Yeah,
But
they
as soon as the album came out, things just blew up more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like So that it's like whoa.
Yeah, my
Like-
parents. It was funny because my parents, they didn't want us playing the bar gigs. You know, they wanted us to play like corporate stuff.
They were
So-
smart at the
Yeah,
angle
so
of
they kept
pitching us.
you know, putting us into weddings,
Yeah.
and so the money was better. We're not in this bad environment, but you know, we're young guys. And I remember one time we did a gig with John Cruz, and it was at Aloha Tower,
Yeah.
and they had a bikini contest.
Was it at Duke's? I mean, not Duke's.
No, Aloha Tower.
Don
the-
Ho's?
Aloha Tower Marketplace.
Oh,
the
okay.
stage. And all these girls came out. I'm like, whoa, this is where I want to play. These are the kind of gigs we should be getting, you know? Like, and so I wanted to play those gigs. So that was like a thing of contention between my parents and I. But now, like, I totally get where they were going. From.
I don't remember that. You really?
But maybe, you know, it could have been after. It could have been after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but
Yeah. But I remember a lot of those gigs, like, you know, walking in and the bouncer stopping and be like, you can't be in here. You're not 21. I'm like, I'm supposed to be on stage. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
So Curtis ELK, you know Curtis ELK? He was like always a professional wrestler back in the day.
Okay.
But he used to be called The Bull.
Okay.
Oh, but he had a good friend of his Peter Moon.
Okay.
And so I remember Curtis is a good friend of my father's, and I used to go visit him a lot. And I remember when we had our first, when our album first came out, I went up to him to play it for him and to see what he thought. And when I went to play it for him, who was sitting there was Peter Moon.
Wow.
The first time ever. Yeah. And so, you know, he's like, because I told him that, I'm coming up to show you my new.
Yeah, I never heard it.
Yeah,
say that.
new album. So he was like super proud. He's like, "Oh my God, look, all you Cologne's son over here.
Wow.
Oh, look, they're his own group, Pure Heart. Wow.
Wow.
Look at this, Peter." And he's like totally like dogging Peter. "Look at this, Peter." Like, "Oh, let's see what this sounds like." Like to Peter.
You guys have to play in front of Peter.
So that he goes and plays and everything. And the whole time he was quiet, like
Wow.
Peter. But then after he's like, wow, he was
impressed.
Yeah, because he didn't say because my uncle Curtis, he's like, oh, what, Curtis, Latin, yeah, because it sounds good, that's why. That's why. That's so funny.
In your guys' careers, I'll go one by one. What was your most memorable performance, or something that made you starstruck, or that you just can't believe that you've done in your career? You start off with Jake.
with me, I mean, Hoku's was that night was huge for me. Like, I'll never forget that. That was like, because that was the first time we felt like, wow, like, well, that was the first time for me anyways that I felt like,
oh yeah,
like people
now.
saw what saw what we did and actually like supported what we were doing.
I can vouch for Jake too. That for me too. Even though I played with a lot of celebrities or everything, but then what he's saying is for me too, because the next day, the feeling I had the next day, like I never ever had that feeling with anybody else.
When you guys played at the Hoku's is Pure Heart.
Yeah.
The next day, waking up in the morning and then going to the gas station.
Oh no way!
Like
instant fame.
Like right, that like
Yeah.
whoa, like what's going on? I'm getting chicken skin over here. But
And then when we woke up that morning, I remember turning on the radio and they were talking about us. I was like, wait, what? They're talking about us on the radio.
right.
Wow.
Good and
You know?
bad.
Right.
Yeah, that was crazy. I
Right.
was just like, this is so weird.
So, Jake, I mean, you played all over the world. You played for the Queen. You did a lot of stuff. You played Carnegie. Hoku's is still there as one of your most
Oh yeah, because
memorable
that's your
performances.
first, right? Like,
Yeah.
You just, that initial feeling, you can never beat that. Yeah,
Right,
you
yeah.
can never get it back. You know?
Wow.
So,
I'm getting chicken skin talking about it right
yeah.
now. Like, oh shit.
And, all of our families are there, all our friends were there, and then all of our heroes are all there, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's like, oh my gosh,
Remember,
around the room and just.
Lihua, what's her name? Lihua from
Maleo?
Lima.
Oh yeah.
They call us kids. Oh, look at these kids! Oh, so cute. Oh,
Man.
For me, it never hit me till way later.
Oh, yeah?
Because it never was until it's actually like Hisessions really did it for me.
When
Because I would
you realized how important your music
yeah, like
was back in the
I
day?
never thought anything about it, but then people would keep coming on the show and be like, oh, I started playing because I heard you guys, you guys are a big influence on, and I'd be like, wow, like it wasn't just one artist. It was like every time an artist would come,
Yeah.
and that's what made me think about, hey, maybe we should get together and play again. Like it seems like this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. We interviewed tons of well-known, artists here just from these podcasts, and the majority of them mention you guys
oh wow.
as their influence.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why they come on this podcast is because of him. I mean, if we called them, they wouldn't show up.
No.
But it's because their influence, he's a big influence on them too, so they'll come out, And I'm talking not even musicians. I'm talking like when we interviewed Gerald Oda, who's the head coach of the Little League baseball team. He was like, "Oh, we were like, thanks for coming, Gerald." He goes, "No, I'm honored to meet you, John and Devon and all these guys from, So I guess he knew from the music.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, who
So
John
it didn't
was,
really
so.
hit me until then. That's like 15 years later when people are telling you like, oh yeah, like my style is based on this, and they're just like, oh, I never.
Right.
I don't know. When you're in it, you don't think people care or listen or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't think that you're becoming like a natural role model.
Yeah.
Sort of, but that's kind of sort of what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't realize it, but yeah, like the group, the Green, and some other ones that are popular nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I trip out. I remember they called me a couple years ago to do a white album with them. An album which was just acoustic and then one just percussion. And they wanted me to do it. I was like, oh wow. Came in, I was like, oh shit. And so in the studio, they're like, man, do you know you guys, Jake, John, and you guys are like, if it wasn't for you guys were like one of the first like people that gave us. I mean, we were like an inspiration to them and
Wow.
everything. And I was like, what?
really?
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Even Leslie from, Leslie producer, Leslie drummer. Works with J Bugs, Fiji guys
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, he even told me the same thing too, and I'm like dumbfounded. I was like, "Why are you serious?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, man, you guys set a certain like tone for us when we were back in high school and everything. We were always trying to figure out what you guys were doing." I was like, "Wow, amazing."
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Abe Agreements is like, "What, Abe? Are you serious?" Like, it's like crazy.
Brother Abe. Oh, by the way, Abe's gonna be. He's back.
Yeah.
Right.
he moved
So
back.
yeah, he's
I
gonna be
haven't seen
coming
him in a
on.
while. Yeah.
We're gonna have him on the show.
Right.
That's amazing.
We had him on a live once, but then for some reason the ukulele kept going out. So I just felt like we never really captured the essence of Abe, because that guy is a monster, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's so good.
Insane.
I-
Insanely talented.
But hey, Kyle, we gotta maybe do
we'll-
one more
we'll do
question
one
because
more
he's
question.
got to pick up Jake's got to pick up his kids from
Okay.
school.
So we kind of know your guys' musical influence was the Kyle Creator Boys, right? Back in the day. Was there any other band that you
Oh.
guys looked up to?
That's more me. These other two guys have really good.
Oh well, as far as the pure heart vibe,
yeah.
Wahapa, Kili Rachel, Lavaya.
Leviah, man. Those guys are awesome.
Peter Moon, as far as pure heart vibe. Yeah, these were all inspiration to the music.
Okay.
And I remember, like, in those down times when we were practicing, some of the things that we were trying to figure out, like, what the Top Dogs were doing. I wonder if we could do what the Top Dogs are doing right now in Hawaii and break it apart. And that's kind of sort of, like, how we did certain songs, and then when we did certain gigs, people were like, "I can't believe you just did that song," because you only hear them doing that song.
Yeah.
You know, the original people. Like for instance, I don't know if anybody covered Olinda Road before, but you know, we were like, there were like major.
Which, by the way,
influence
I'd like to
from
open
Hapa.
with at the Blue Note, because that song is so.
Or Anjali, right?
Oh yeah, we used to do
too.
Anjali too. Yeah. But Olinda Road is like the perfect first song for me.
It is.
I don't have to sing, but it gets everybody kind of loose, you
Yeah.
know, like
Sound check is like a good.
Yeah.
sound
yeah,
check
it's a
song.
good, it's a good, just like all right, okay, and then after that, it feels like okay, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Take a request, anybody from Blue Note.
Yeah. If you
Send
want
it
to
to John
email
on
us your request.
Jake, any of your other earlier influences?
Well, yeah, I mean, all the same, but I mean, well, just thinking about ukulele. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
I was gonna say, but just thinking about like for the ukulele, I mean, when I was a kid, you know, Ota-san, right, was my, you know, big inspiration because I went to Roy Sakuma's right studios, and Ota-san was Roy's teacher, and then Eddie Kamai was Ota-san's teacher, right? So that lineage.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, you know, Eddie Kamai taught Ota-san, Ota-san taught Roy Sukuma, and then Roy Sukuma was my teacher. Well, first was one of Roy's students, Tammy Akiyama,
yeah, of course.
back in the day, and then yeah, and I think and of course, yeah, Peter Moon, right? So talking about the old times, Peter Moon, you know, Gordon Mark was also a big influence. Dr. Byron
Benny?
Yasui was so Benny wasn't playing ukulele back then.
Oh.
He started playing. He picked it up again much later.
I see.
So back then, yeah, Dr. Yasui. Who else? Gordon Mark, and then then of course Kelly Boy DeLima, right?
Oh,
Troy
yeah, that's right.
Fernandez, Peter Moon. I know I'm missing a whole bunch of players, but
Anybody called you like the Bruce Lee of ukulele?
Jesse Kalima was another. Jesse
the Eddie Van
Kalima.
Halen of ukulele.
Oh, Don Baduria. Don Baduria.
Oh yeah,
too.
Don Baduria.
Yeah,
Because he had the fast strum thing.
he had
going.
that triple strum. That's where I learned it from. Actually, I learned it from
Daniel?
his son, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel taught me the triple strum.
Yeah.
It was at the ukulele festival. I was like, hey, Daniel, I always wanted to ask you, like, how does your dad, like, how did he do his triple strum? So he goes, oh, here, bring your uke. And then he showed me. I was like, oh, and I just remember, like, I just went home and that's all I was doing all day, just practicing that for months,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was, yeah, there were so many great players. And even now, like, there's so many people that just kind of,
Yeah, I mean, you
Even
think about
Nirvana was influenced on Pure Heart.
Really?
Nirvana.
Yeah.
Yeah, because came up, you remember? Coming up with Mr. Sancho Lee.
oh, the
Oh
intro.
yeah, that
Oh,
jam
yeah,
session
yeah.
in the middle, right?
Yeah, we took
Oh,
the chord
we
progression.
were influenced by Nirvana. Okay, I thought you were talking about the other way around. Yeah. We had
You never
Nirvana.
know.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe Dave grows out there and being influenced.
Well, the
by you
bass
guys.
player, I worked with his sister. She used
For
to be.
Nirvana?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Novoselic.
Oh, wow.
How'd you work with the sister?
She was a realtor. Or is a realtor,
in
maybe.
Hawaii?
Yeah. I think they have some kind of tie to Hawaii or something.
Classic.
Yeah, the bass player for Nirvana.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, but okay.
We're running out of time.
So we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We should have started earlier, but maybe we can get you guys back again and we can do this again one day. And,
Well, I
and
want
play
you guys
some
to play a
stuff.
song since you guys are here. Do we have time for that at least?
I pushed it up to the end. We still have to.
What?
Huh?
We gotta. You know I'm gonna make you guys play a song before we end this. It
Kyle.
has to happen. He brought his ukulele.
How does this to
Got the.
Right, okay.
Yeah, right. Okay, here we
playing
go.
something and then we'll go. I'm just gonna start playing.
The coal's right there for you.
Lopaka, you cannot hit the table.
There we go.
Oh, this is a good rehearsal.
Yeah.
Good rehearsal for the...
Well, this should be only rehearsal, right, before Blue Note. But you know what? Thanks for coming down, you guys. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out. Congratulations on everything you've done in your guys' career. Looking forward to more music from you guys.
Well,
And don't forget to go to the Blue Note. Check them out.
well, I was hoping we would talk about how I thought we were going to talk about how all the four of us got together.
Oh, we
My
should.
style game.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta save that for
The next one, the next part
Yeah.
This is no particular song. We're just gonna jam it out.
Oh, we're not gonna play a song?
Play song, John.
Kyle,
He always gets mad when I put him on the spot.
The pressure.
I don't know what do you want to hear?
I want to hear. Let's see, the best of pure heart. Let's see.
Hurry up.
Can't find it.
I want to hear How Can I Get Over?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And then Green Rose Hula. Europa.
Yes.
It's not that.
I know, you're running out of time.
That's the part.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
the hard one. Okay.
Standing on the side of hell, looking on the side of heaven. How can I get over? Trying so hard to move my feet, oh, but it seems I'm sinking deeper. How can I get over?
Yeah.
I wanna know, oh, I wanna know, na na na, how can I get over? Living all my life in sin, I don't know where righteousness will come in. How can I get over? Now that I can't wait no longer, living hard in pain and hunger. How can I get over? I wanna know, oh, I wanna know, oh, na na na. How can I get over? I wanna know, oh, I wanna know, na na na. How can I get over? Living all my life in sin, I don't know where righteousness will come in. How can I get over? That I can't wait no longer, living hard in pain and hunger. How can I get over? I wanna know, oh, I wanna know,
Take care, you guys.
All
Thanks, everybody.
right. Aloha.